Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to the new YouTube channel. So today we're gonna talk about when is it time to switch from a large wing foil board to a small wing foil board, what that process is gonna be like, and I'll talk about the 3 things that I wish that I knew when making that transition. So if you do happen to find this video helpful, help me out by hitting that subscribe button, hitting the thumbs up button, and even hitting that little bell icon so you get notifications when I drop new videos. And maybe share it on social media, get the word out. It is a new channel, we're trying to grow it. But yeah, let's dive into the video. All right, so the first thing that I wish that I knew when I got into going for a smaller board, so maybe say making that jump from like a 140 liter to say like a 60 or a 78 liter board, maybe even a 90 depending on your weight if you're a bigger rider, but you're gonna go back to being a beginner. So you might be competent going out in choppier water, maybe you're super comfortable in light wind or gusty wind and you've been having great success. And that was my experience on the massive inflatable board that I was using. Is that thing was a boat. It was impossible to fall on. So no matter what conditions I was going out in, and it did take a while. Obviously at first it was difficult in choppy water and all that. And I was seeking flat water and smoother like 20 knot wind to do it, but man, going to a smaller board, you're basically going back to being a beginner. So you're gonna be falling, you're probably gonna go downwind. So I highly encourage you to change your mindset about the experience and enjoy it. You know, it's going to be a whole new thing about learning the muscle memory to control the board, figuring those little things out. And on that note of how long and when to do this, I would say as soon as you're comfortable foiling where you can ride back and forth in both directions and you're having good success on that larger board, getting up in most conditions, and you can get up very quickly, then you can definitely stay on that board as long as you like, but it's going to be a lot more fun to get into the more advanced boards. So as soon as you're getting up and riding comfortably, you're a competent foiler, and you have a good foundation of the wing. So you know how to prevent spills by holding the wing up above your head, how to balance, you've got a good feel for controlling that wing and foiling, then you're gonna be in a good place to make the switch to a smaller board. It's still on you to decide when to do it, but also realize that you will be facing the new challenges. So the second thing that I wish that I knew is you're gonna have to build the muscle memory for balancing a smaller board. So your balance point is far more critical. So it's really key to get small and stay small. And then think about your stance. So one thing I was shown was to do kind of like wider knees and then your feet back behind you, and then just get as low as possible. And what you're trying to do is you're going to be balancing the board with your knees, right? So you're going to be finding that balance point, controlling the sideways tip, but also there's the nose and the tail, and it's so easy to dunk that nose or dunk that tail and just have the board shoot out from underneath you when you're going to a smaller board. So those first couple of hours, you're really just learning, you're engaging your core, you're engaging your legs and your knees, and you're just gaining that control. And at first it seems impossible. And just, if you realize that every minute that you're out there practicing that and falling, you're getting better. You're basically learning how to balance on that board. And I would say for your average person, a good hour or two of just going through that, you know, by the end of that session, you're probably going to be able to kind of get one leg up, stand up, be sailing forward, and then you're gonna have the ability to balance that board. And if the wind is good, you should be able to get up and get on foil. But there is that learning curve of just figuring out the new board. So don't be frustrated, just enjoy the process of learning how to balance that new board, find your balance point. One thing that really helps is to look at the inserts for where the foot straps are and kind of line your knees and your feet up with that. And then you can control that forward and backward tilt with how low and crouched you are to keep that low center of gravity, and then be quick with the wing. So as you bring it over your head and you get on it, use the lift of the wing so that the wing's holding you up more than the board is balancing you. And yeah, it's a delicate balance, but my point is it just takes some time to get used to balancing that board, but once you get past that small hurdle, it's a pretty quick process to get through if you're diligent and you're aware you're gonna have to learn this. So my third thing that I wish I knew, and I've kind of elaborated on this a little bit, is basically you're gonna take a small step back before you make a giant leap forward. So dealing with all the things we covered, dealing with learning how to balance the board, you're gonna have to deal with the fact that you probably won't be able to stay upwind anymore. You're gonna spend a lot of time just doing downwinders, figuring out the balance on that smaller board, and you're gonna take a lot more falls. So every little thing you do on a small board, the smaller the board, the more reactive. So when your balance point is wrong, that board's gonna pop out of the water. They wanna tilt. If you're going back out in choppy waters, let's say a little wave comes rolling through, your nose is gonna dunk, you're going off the board. Or on the back end of the chop, now your tail's gonna dunk. So on a big board, that might be very mild, but on a small board, it's going to be pretty intense. So with that in mind, is it worth it? I would say of course, because the smaller the board, the more fun, the more reactive, and that's whether you're getting into riding swell, or you want to become a freestyle foiler, or you're just even a weekend warrior and you just want to stop carrying and lugging around a massive board. Small boards are so much easier to pack away, so much easier to carry out to the site, and they just are more fun in general. But yeah, those are my three things that I noticed. If you have anything you want to share on what you noticed while you were learning, or any tips or tricks and advice for people who are making that transition, drop it in the comments. And again, if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you later.